Hi. Hi, everyone. Oh, we have plans for this session. Oh boy, welcome back to more Drums of the Empire D&D. I am Slappy Meats. I live here in this space, in this little square right here. It's, yeah, a little cramped, but you get used to it. There's enough bed space and plenty of clothes. What more could a boy want? Also, friends. I am Sildov, the sweetest Dhampir you'd ever hope to meet. And I am joined by a writhing mass of tentacles to my screen right. Homeboy Lola Man.
Hello, everybody. It's still me. I'm still playing One Who Leans, the mushroom folk diplomat, druid cleric healer extraordinaire, and
Shit.
I'm gonna try to keep negotiations in a yes. Next.
Next is Salmika. Who is playing the Fey Touched Paladin? Sound like I may have fallen into despair. I don't know. But I'll be back. We all say, I trust. That's part of the chaos, I think. It's part of the fun. Their name is Feldmead. This is Feldmead. And I almost guaranteed that I'm still, after all this time, pronouncing that not quite
Felony.
right. Just Felamy. No D.
Yeah.
I've been sliding the D in there ever so subtly every single
80%
time.
of the letters, and you just
You
don't
always
say
have
them.
to do that, though, Slappy.
You want a little tip of the D. Trust me.
Just a little,
little bit.
bit.
Just rolls off the tongue, you know? Anyway, we have Mule Kitsune as well. Hi.
Greetings, all. I am Yozora, the warlock, also on the team librarian, and apparently the exasperated team parent.
Adventures in babysitting over here. We also have with us a precious bunny boy, Bunnybee.
And I am forever wither, your Tabaxi Ranger, Drake Horton. And he might get a little bit curious today.
Oh, I hope so.
I'm gonna have my hands full trying to keep you guys from doing. I'm gonna have my hands full of babysitting.
Oh, I hope to have my hands full as well. Speaking of which, leading the charge here is our wonderful, beneficent, and ever so handsome and pretty good smelling DM, Ironmog, Kupo, motherfuckers.
Hail, travelers. Welcome back, guys. You
Oh,
excited?
speaking of smelling.
You tea time with puppers.
Oh my
That's all
god,
this is.
yes.
I'm very
This is gonna
excited.
be a good
After the day I've had, oh yeah, I'm ready.
right. We're just having like a nice, calming cup of tea, hanging out with a room full of puppies to like a whole like new extreme. Like these puppies can talk back, so if you want to, have a deep philosophical chat, you can finally do it with a puppy. Imagine over tea, even.
Speaking of good smelling,
Anybody else now thinking about the Far Side comic where someone managed to create a device allowing them to listen to dogs and all they said was "Hey"?
Right? They're just that so. They're just like, hey, no, we just want to have a good time, hey.
Great book. Hi.
Last time our heroes got together, they started off with a little bit of
great
a
book.
kind of a moral dilemma, a
You're
little
gonna like this.
conundrum. What do we do about these very obvious members of the Crimson Bandits who we've kind of stumbled across in the wilderness? They're very obviously dragon hunters. They've even bragged about hunts that they've done before, and their weaponry and their gear, their tack all looks like it was set up to hunt dragons. After some investigations, the party, consisting at this point of a tiny spider of One Who Leans,
Oh yeah.
went and investigated
It's
the
a nice
camp,
spider.
had a look around. This particular group looks like it's fairly recently arrived, kind of backed up by documentation and map notes that were seen within kind of the, I guess what you might consider the leader of this group, a very imposing, massive-looking figure with a couple of nasty-looking swords. Ultimately, the party decided that maybe it's a problem that we do take care of, just not today. And so kind of retreated and made their way around and kind of gave a wide berth to this camp after a bit and headed further north, continuing their journey by several hours. Just very nice, relaxing, very calm day today. There's like no wind, like, kicking stuff in your face. It's just a nice, cool breeze. The skies overhead are free of both dragon. You haven't seen anything flying about looking like it's out hunting. So maybe you're getting into high enough elevation that the game's not as plentiful. So they stick more to the valley where there's a lot more of the large of animals they can hunt down. There's not a cloud in the sky either. It's just this nice deep blue, and you are kind of getting into the thicker parts where there's more trees and larger clumps. And there was a split in the tree line that was coming up ahead, and Dove just kind of, while the rest of you are, I don't know, everybody was just having a good day, enjoying just the cool breeze, not really paying attention. But Dove, that very keen perception, noticed movement ahead. There was a large group moving between the trees in kind of this dual line formation. And it turned out as you got closer and got a good look at them that these were Okami moving in very militaristic formation. They had an Okami with them that was kind of dressed a little bit more elegantly, had a little bit more, decoration to their armor, kind of stood out as the leader. Called for a halt to their line. You approached, they approached, and it was decided that as strangers will meet on the road, we will have tea together and become neighbors, essentially, being the tradition that they are currently taking part of. They have offered to set up a pavilion, a nice little tent-covered area that is, when we get started, has been put up and is now done. You've got the groups of the soldiers kind of around, just keeping watch at this point, making sure the area is safe and free from any sort of threat, so that you can simply relax, sit down, and enjoy tea together. Now they have got a small fire going where they have already put some of their own tea out and have some already ready if anybody just wants tea. We'll get to that in a second. But they do have another place where another pot of tea may be started. So we'll get to all that, what all that means as we get going. Any questions? Anybody need any reminders or any further explanations, anything?
I'm pretty set on my end.
I'm curious if Wither would be able to assist in watching the perimeter, if they would take offense to that or anything like that.
We'll play that out. We'll get to that in a second. That'll be part of what I guess you end up doing. We'll see how they react to that and how you react to their reaction. And we'll go down that path. I like that. I like where your head's at. Does anybody else have any questions about what's going on? Anything that's set up right now? The area they're in, they've set up this kind of small pavilion, basically right in the path. So anybody who's going to be coming or going through here is going to see it. And again, it is, perhaps if you want to ask more questions about it, this is something that they are doing that has very many times by them been mentioned as like an old tradition. So if you have any questions about that, you can absolutely feel free to ask them about that. Or if you want any clarifications about what they've been doing, what's going on as it's set up when we get going, just by all means ask now, or we'll just get right on rolling.
I know once we get going, since you've mentioned it, asking about that, once we get this all settled down and we hopefully avoid a diplomatic incident, asking about what type of tea they have and their traditions is definitely going to be on Yozora's mind here, because knowledge and tea.
And I certainly want to be observing them in their sort of ritualistic practices for setting this tea up. Like, it's a tradition, but are they doing it as a sort of just rote, kind of memorized, casual maneuver, or is it rigorous and ceremonial? Do they look stodgy? Or do they look relaxed? Do they look like they could use a good time?
Give me both a perception check and a insight check.
Okay. Pow. Wow. For me?
And it's fine. We're gonna use your passive perception. It was only a chance for you to get more, basically.
Thank Christ.
Okay, and then a 16 on the wisdom. What is your passive? A 22, right?
Yes.
Okay, so just passively, you're watching as they set everything up. You absolutely notice that they do things in a very specific order. The first thing you see that happens is the fires, both of them are built. One is lit, at least, it seems, and tea is put out to start boiling, basically. So basically, they put the kettle out for, some hot water. So they set that to start warming immediately, and that is before anything else is done. The next thing that goes up is the actual tents to cover everything, and then after that, they bring in anything else that they might have, like just kind of in their supplies and their packs. And you see they had chairs that they set up, 4 for them, and then at least 4 with, like, you see, like, some not currently like made or set up, but to the side in case you need or want more chairs. They have simply brought their 4 and then offered 4 as well. And you saw those were like the last of the things, and then anything else that they might have with them, any sort of like blankets or rugs that were rolled out, or any sort of pillows that are put around, any sort of decoration was brought out even after the chairs. So you definitely noticed there was an order to everything.
Cool.
So you get a sense of this is ceremonial tradition, but you don't really get a sense very much of what exactly kind of they are, emphasizing, what the point of the, the order is and all that. But you definitely notice there is a purpose and an order to it. And it looks like it's a very well practiced. Like they are moving like a military machine as they kind of go through all these, get it all set up very quickly. It is in fact impressive how quickly they get it all set up.
Yeah.
I
Meow.
guess while they're setting this up, one who leans would have asked the captain if they wanted it to help camouflage whatever the setup was going to end up as, like with druidcrafts or like even a fog cloud.
Hmm.
And in response, he would have absolutely told you, please don't trouble yourself. We will be safe. We will make sure that all is well, and all will see our intent and our purpose, and would not dare to broach that. But thank you for the offer. He seems very appreciative that you would offer to help in that way, but seems to insist even a little that you do not aid.
Okay.
The stuff that they laid out, pillows, chairs, are these essentially like the chairs? They're just kind of the scissor joint canvas kind of chairs. Like these are,
yeah.
These aren't,
if
like,
you imagine really cheap camping chairs, yeah.
Okay, so like we're not talking about garish. Like these aren't ornate. This is stuff that looks like it's for the field, and they just happen to assemble it in a tea time facade.
Absolutely, yes. It does look like it's very standard issue kind of military. Like, this is the chair you get while you're out on patrol. You have to carry it, by the way. So if you don't want to carry it, you don't get to sit except on the hard ground.
Okay, so this
But
it doesn't appear
They
like
are offering chairs.
good. Okay, nice, very hospitable. They don't seem to be like a roving tea party. Like this, they're not specifically here
no.
to deliver the emperor's fucking tea.
No, absolutely.
Okay.
Your insight does absolutely assure you that as you watch them move, you're getting a very up close view of them at this point as they've been working. This is a military unit. There's absolutely no doubt in your mind at that point. Whether or not they're like full on government like issued or if they're a mercenary band, you're not sure. But you 100%, these guys roll military.
So this courtesy permeates their society so deeply that it runs to even, the most pragmatic.
Even the soldiers will follow it.
Nice. Okay.
So
Sitting is an art that this one has yet to master, but it appreciates the gesture.
So basically, at my original question was helping to set up a perimeter with like the other scouts. They essentially decline with me as well.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm set. I'm ready, and that's my assessment.
Once more into the breach.
I hope they won't be offended. I have coffee.
Has Stomach come back yet?
Oh, I'm there. I'm
Oh, okay,
listening.
good. Mercy. Mercy. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, one Orleans will have some tea. Maybe like dip a finger in it, drink it.
Yeah, Yozora will definitely partake in the tea as well. A refined taste and all that.
And I shall certainly, be more than polite and try to do my very best to be accommodating to our ever so hospitable hosts and offer some tea of my own.
All right, so with everything set up and everything ready, the captain will step forward, give you all a very deep bow, and then kind of sweep an arm back and gesture. Please, if you would join us, our tea is ready.
This one will follow.
Well, they're
He
kind of
will move back to the covered area and then wait for all of you. All of them are still standing. What's up, Wither?
Wither kind of motions to the captain and is like, "Would you like to have myself join your scouts in watching for a perimeter?"
He will offer you a polite smile and will bow again. Please, no, do not trouble yourself. It is our responsibility, our tent, and you will share our tea. You do not need to offer any of your labor or pay any of your price for what we offered here.
Oh,
Very well.
but
Just in the sense of there's never too many eyes out there.
Your service is included. Stop trying to tip.
oh,
That certainly
but
seems like the setup here.
Captain, Sergeant, Major.
His ear will twitch and he kind of peers over at you. Yes?
Which one?
But it says captain.
Did you say Captain?
I am a captain within our ranks, yes.
Fantastic.
Perhaps let me, yes,
Captain?
introduce myself.
Oh.
You will bow once more. I'm Captain Aluo.
Good to meet you, Captain. I am Seldar. Friends call me Dom.
It is a pleasure to meet you. To meet all of you. Welcome,
Oh,
please, to our tent.
hello.
If you wish to sit, please do so. If you do not require sitting, or as I believe your friend here has indicated, is incapable of, then please, simply take shade with us and share in our tea.
Very well.
Certainly.
As you will.
Yozora, oh, go ahead.
No.
Yozora will go. It's a pleasure to meet you. And bow back. That was the wrong button. I am Yozora, and we'll take a seat.
All right. One who leans is not going to sit. Is anybody else going to?
Felimy will give a little curtsy and bow down and say, "I will be glad to share with you, but I do hope you will not mind if we share some of our home. I am a knight of the Fae Court, and Fae rules insist that if I am offered sustenance, I must return the offer in kind."
He will smile at you and give you a quick bow of the head. Of course, it is part of the tradition. As soon as we have come under shade, taken our rest, we offer our tea and ask you if you perhaps would like to share some of your own. So let us then take our rest. And they will all sit as they have seen Philemy and Yozora sit.
I
And
will as
please,
well.
would you like to provide some tea of your own? We have the other fire and the other kettle set for you. And he will gesture towards it.
reach into my coat, bring out the bag, the container, the tin, I guess it would have been in,
Mm-hmm.
of the tea. You know which one.
Which one would you like?
I don't remember the name of it. I think I had trouble adding it to my sheet, but the sensual one.
The
Oh,
essentially horny tea.
Yes. Not to put too fine a point on it, but absolutely the horny tea.
Okay.
And
Do I know about this?
presented. I think you know. Actually, no, you don't. You weren't with Zelda when he went shopping at the store.
I'm fairly
know-
certain I don't know about it, so I don't have.
Nobody knows about it, in fact. So
Son of a bitch.
Dove will hand it to Bellamy as she walks by to add her
Can I
Fey
incite Zelda
stuff.
as he hands out the tea?
Bellamy will collect the tea from Seldov, and you mentioned there was another fire they were starting, where we could cook. Where we could.
Yeah.
Uh,
The fires are basically between the two of you. One with their tea on it, and the other one with a kettle ready for whatever you want to make. Or if you don't have any, they would put on a second kettle of their own to make sure everybody
No.
had enough.
I'm not gonna stop Zelda, but I want to see if I sniff the diplomatic incident coming.
Silda.
Yeah, absolutely. Hit me with an insight. I don't know if I would.
What is your, I guess, your intent?
I
and
don't
are
know
you
if I'm
trying
going
to hide it?
Yes, I don't know. I don't know if I'm trying to hide it. I will say, my persuasion, my deception, they're the same modifier, so I'll call it deception, like a poker face.
Meanwhile, as that happens,
Yeah,
Bellamy
no.
will.
I'm being very polite. I'm definitely being very polite and offering
And
Assistance.
the one who leans trusts you, so everything's gonna go well.
As
Also, keep
well
in
it-
mind that
as
you
well
have a
it
Fey
should.
Knight. You have a Fey Knight, so there may be a fake culprit.
which is helpful for me. Oh yes.
So Bellamy, after collecting the tea
And
from
Wither will sit down as
Seldov,
well.
Bellamy will start picking the best berries out of her hair. Maybe check to see if she has a tea leaf or two out of out of the leaves, and she'll gather them up in one of her own teacup, along with portion of the tea from Seldov.
You know what? I'm gonna give them the 2 good mushrooms that I have to infuse in tea.
Oh,
Oh,
neat.
good idea.
Healthy.
Just because I didn't go to see the tea that sealed of when he went to buy it, I would also open one insight check on that. Just like suspicion and everything.
Roll a perception check to see if you
Perception.
recognize any sort of like possibly what the tea is.
Righty. 1 perception check. That's a no. Damn it.
Seems above board, as far as you can tell at the moment.
English breakfast.
And keep in mind that probably just as many people have their eyes glued to me because I'm the embodiment of chaos so far.
You are the one plucking fruit from your hair to plunk into the teapot.
Yeah.
Into the kettle.
I don't trust that with how much of chaos you've been dropping or being.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm being genuine and very nice, but I'm a fake culprit.
I do appreciate just how friendly the gesture is, just like happily humming some delightful little tune, like bluebirds landing on your shoulder as you're just plunk.
Oh yeah, Philomene would take the time to inspect every little berry that she picks from her hair to make sure these are the best.
Oh, wait, that's not a berry.
Roll me a D100.
Me?
Celtica. Yeah.
All right.
This is going to be a hell of a negotiation.
That's pretty good. You do, in fact, have a few bits of tea leaf in your antlers there, and you definitely do have some very nice, tasty berries in there. It looks like some raspberries, actually.
Ooh, lovely. I'll gather all the ingredients from everyone, both from Seldov and one who leans, along with my own berries and tea leaves, into one of my own cups, just to add to the water for infusion.
Absolutely, they will. They will take it from you, stare at this mixture, and then they've seen you like pull things out of your head at this point, and
Oh
so they're
yeah, I
just
was
kind of
complete.
looking down at it and then up at you. They see what appears to be tea leaves and berries, but they're still looking at you because it came from your head.
I mean, keep in mind that I literally have a bush coming out of my hair and head and flower in a crown of flowers that are very much alive.
Her
That's
great
well
great
and fine.
grandmother was an Elrond.
That's
Don't worry
well and
about it.
fine for them because they're not trying to drink you.
She'll just.
They may by the end of this.
Do I need to make a perception check to see them being suspicious of what I added?
It is not suspicious, and no, you won't need to make any check. As Aloha will look up at you and just like one ear will kind of like flop a little bit as he. These are unique ingredients. I do hope it is tasty. And
Absolutely. These berries grow from my hair as a result of a gift from some face that I helped a long time ago. My
yes,
whole
of course.
my own cow likes to munch on them now and then without my permission.
Yozora just shoots her just a side eye. It's like, yeah, not sure that's comforting to them.
That is excellent, and it is very much in the heart of the tradition. You do offer of yourself. Thank you. He will again bow.
Follow suit.
And she
With
will
a
bow
subtle,
back
a
with
subtle
with a
one,
big smile.
a subtle one from Seldov. Just
I'm pretty much
Yeah.
bowing permanently, so I'm good.
perfect. I can assure you, Captain, I have tasted her berries, and they are quite sweet.
That is good then. An outside opinion is always welcome. And they will start making the tea. As we share ourselves with each other,
Smells good.
let us then also share our tale. Would you, as the guests, like to tell yours first? Or would you hear ours?
I look forward to sharing plenty of each other. One who leans?
Yes. We will share our story. We are but a recently formed party. Friends. We hail from different lands, and we are as disparate as you can observe, and yet we share a common goal in this new land we today discover. That goal is peace and friendship, as much as it can be extended to the benefit of all involved. As we have traveled here, we have run into our share of opposition already. The Crimson Lord and his men, as I believe you're familiar with, have been quite hostile to our mode of life, principles, and operations. However, this one believes there is yet hope. We are on our way to meet with new people to the north, and it is fortunate that we came across you. We were wondering how and when we would make contact with your people. We have had our share of adventures on the way, even recently nearly avoiding a confrontation with a large hydra. If you are walking south,
Do be careful, as it is not slain.
Really distracted and maybe irritated. Try to take the long way around if possible.
Yep, I believe he was along the coast, if I'm not mistaken.
This one has many more stories to share. But it believes, perhaps, going one after the other might be a more enjoyable experience, revealing more of ourselves little by little to each other.
Dove bites his lip.
The captain will nod at that. And as you were speaking, there were a few moments where he kind of paused every once in a while at mention of the Crimson Bandits. He definitely became a little animated and even shared a glance with a couple of his subordinates around him, who would nod and return back at him.
Insight check to see if maybe if I can understand what's going on here.
Go ahead.
Oh, come on.
I suppose same to see if they, if there's just a shared glance of like, oh, those fucking assholes, or like, do you think these guys are in cahoots with them?
Yep, same thing.
Go ahead.
Gonna go for it.
Hopefully they don't have any mistrust of us. Why would they ever mistrust us? That could be better.
Oh, the
I'm gonna
dice
do the
are-
roll to just to see in case we perk up in a way of, oh, nice information for us to act on later.
No.
Oh well, I don't see anything. Failing me, it's not the most diplomatic one or the most insightful one at times.
All right, the three of you don't get a whole lot of depth on your insight. One who leans you,
Ooh.
however, will get a lot of depth to it. As you see them exchange this glance, they also very momentarily kind of like their eyes flicker your ways, just as like a whole, taking in your group for a moment. And there's like that very subtle like narrowing of their eyes as if they were eyeing you suspiciously, but they seem to not carry an immediate animosity or camaraderie through it. One who leans you, however, you fully see the very subtle tension that kind of goes through the captain at the mention of the Crimson Lords. And the glance, you see the captain look at one of the individuals next to him and glance at their hip, where you see a pair of manacles hanging. It was very brief, very quick, and the individual he glanced at nods very subtly. But then you also catch that very quick flicker of the eyes, and this one kind of like over here kind of twitches just a little bit, like the edge of their bow, as if you felt for a moment they were getting ready. But the captain then had a very subtle gesture with one hand, and everybody seemed to relax.
Righty
Taking
then.
notes?
Yes, please. I would love to hear why you are here so far. So far into the free territories from your borders.
Of course. And we will share our story with you. Yours is incredible. Disparate individuals from several homes brought together to seek out new friends and new homes. That is something truly of legend already.
Oh,
Reminds us of the old emperor and his clan when they came here. But yes, as for our purpose in the area,
noted.
we are here, in fact, to assess the immediate threat presented by the Crimson Bandits and their Crimson Lord. Of late, they have been a bit... He kind of pauses for a moment, and you see his tongue like lick his chops.
Rambunctious.
Aggressive.
Reckless. they have been reckless of late, and have begun to encroach upon territory that they ought not otherwise. And so it has seemed that those who are in the know dispatched us to take a look. Our unit is a very small early forward reconnaissance unit. We go out in the field, we scout, we assess, and we report back. We are meant to be able to do as much damage as possible as quickly as possible, should things go awry, and the need be to delay and to deter as best we could. But our ultimate goal is non-detection and observation. It is kind of you to have told us of this camp so near us to the south. We will observe it from afar, see what they are doing, and we'll be able to better understand their strengths in the area. They are this far north is of a concern. I had not known that they had pushed their territory out so much. The last we'd known, they were miscreants at best, hiding in a small river valley at the base of a falls that comes off the other side of the Great Lake. And they, I believe, held territory as far as the river before it curved around to the north. Have they pushed much further? Are the contested territories so much in lawlessness and anarchy?
For now.
You'll see him kind of bow his head sad.
Mm-hmm.
That is unfortunate, that the people here would have to suffer so much.
It is
Well,
true.
hopefully, the aid we bring will help the people of this land unite and help ease their suffering.
It is the hope that we have. This one's first diplomatic action in the Free Territories was to instill a trade agreement between local villages and the city we hail from. We do believe it will better the living conditions in the region. However, our first action upon arrival was rescuing villagers from Crimson Bandits. It appears clear that the Crimson Lord will give us trouble in our endeavor, which is why we are seeking new friends in every direction as fast as possible.
If you're familiar with the village of Banaktu, they're friends of ours by now. We've done them a good turn at the very least.
Make me insight checks, everybody.
Insight check coming up.
Okay. Oh,
Okay, that's a little better then.
Ah, man. Rolled a
Yeah,
fail.
unfortunately, one who leans doesn't pick up on this one, it seems.
It's okay. Seldov's gonna like Morse code it on my leg.
just playing footsies and I forget.
The rest of you notice, and it starts around the time that one who leans says the free territories, and kind of continues all throughout, talking about setting up trade between the local villages and populi, between their whatever government, their city, and them directly. The captain looks uncomfortable and is at kind of like peak discomfort around the time you're talking about setting up trade and alliances. And so do some of the other soldiers around him that you can see. They fidget a little bit. Something you're saying or talking about seems to have got to them in a way that makes them anxious. For Wither and Dove specifically, you absolutely notice that something one who leans is saying is making them a little anxious.
Presently, we are trying to approach this in a diplomatic fashion, hoping to get along kindly, amicably with each other in all directions. Of course, I can tell that you, the lot of you, are certainly no stranger to enforcing order more directly.
We
Such-
are definitely. Oh, sorry. I thought you were done. Ignore me.
Such a thing would not be off the table, should it come to that. But good relations, intimate relations, are of utmost importance.
We would prefer to settle this. Our goal is to avoid as much bloodshed as possible. Bloodshed tends to lead to very negative feelings with those who are trying to talk to you and who you've maybe the next kin who you've hurt. I'm not saying that we're saints. Everybody's got their own agenda from what I've observed. But we would rather to avoid all the fighting we could.
Wither kind of just looks at him and is just like, "We come in peace."
If all of that is true, you truly are peaceful
Bonds is a bag of
diplomats,
hammers.
We hope to be.
then I would suggest, as your best course of action, to seek out the Emperor within the Forbidden City to properly open up diplomatic ties between the Empire and its subjects. And not attempt to start what appears to be an open rebellion within the contested territories.
I see.
I would
Ding.
hate to see something happen that would be otherwise avoidable, as you all seem to be amenable and intelligent and, well, kind, as you have given of your own tea. Speaking of, I do believe it is ready. If you would all like some.
Absolutely.
Of course.
May I try some of yours?
Of course.
Of course, you may have either tea.
I
You
will
may
sample.
even mix them if you feel so inclined.
I will sample theirs.
Yeah,
As will
with the
I.
concoction that has been made from 3 separate people, Yozora's going to go for theirs.
Felony will serve herself a little bit of both, mostly of their tea to sample, but also a little bit of her own. It's a show of good faith.
Okay.
Exactly. That's the same as what I'm doing. I'm doing it out of courtesy for them doing their part. Just kind of almost as a as they mentioned that it was a tradition for them. I just kind of humbly take and enjoy their tea.
They will take of both. They will have a perfectly 50-50 mixture. You'll see them kind of going from both back and forth between each of them. The captain being the last one who is served by one of the subordinates, who will take it and will bow and kind of raise the glass.
Might do
A
the
toast.
same thing.
I will breathe
To new
deeply of it.
neighbors, and to friendship,
To new neighbors.
and to peace.
to peace.
To intimate
Peace.
relationships.
To good relations that further
To
everyone's well-being.
I will.
newfound knowledge.
Sorry. I will breathe deeply of the tea. Does it smell like it has any peculiar properties that I might be aware of?
And you had just there.
Just theirs.
Yes. Same here.
I was going to do the same thing, actually.
Yeah, make a perception check. Let's see what you notice in that.
And Bumpkiss.
Well, I mean, he'll just be entirely too trustful.
Man,
Low
my
roll.
Fey ancestry is failing me. I was like, this is gonna be my paranoia. Come on.
Does it smell good at least?
So their
How many
tea
nines?
does smell very good. It's got a very kind of nice, fresh crispness to it. It feels as you take this whiff, and this is for you, Dove, as you catch the very subtle tones in it, and you feel a little bit like your sinuses kind of clear up a little at this. It's got a very nice medicinal like to it, where it's going to help your just your body just general fight off whatever. It's a little bit of immunity booster tea, basically.
Okay.
Okay. But
Immunity.
I drink without fear because I'm resistant to poison anyway.
Nice. I just have that little that gaze from beneath my brow. That are they watching closely as we sip of ours?
They are not. You don't even need to roll for that one. You can just take a look around. They are not particularly watching you closely as you drink. They seem to just be enjoying sharing drink with you and sharing tea with you and having this kind of quiet moment to just relax and just parlay.
Meanwhile, Philomene will
Sounds so
very
good.
much drink the tea slowly, enjoying each gulp, one gulp of each tea at a time.
Okay, so you had
Literally eyes closed and taking in all the aromas as she drinks them.
a mixed cup.
1 cup of each, actually.
Oh, 1 cup of each. Okay.
It does
Oh,
seem
no.
blasphemous to mix them together in the same cup. Like, I feel like that's...
Yeah, that's the thing. Philomene would not mix them. She just drinks of one, drinks of
Yeah,
the other, and slowly entering each sip and tasting them.
And
And there's-
how about you, Wither? Are you mixing or are you going 1 and 1 as well?
Every
I
sommelier.
actually just took from
Just
from the one is all I took.
You took just from the one that you provided?
shits the bed.
No,
with
the
that.
one that they provided.
Oh, the one they provided. Okay.
Yep. As a
I
show
have
of
one finger in each, and I'm
confidence, okay.
drinking them both at the same time.
Oh boy.
I will pour one of ours for myself and leave it there.
Okay. And Yozora?
I just I don't trust the connection from Dove, one who leans, and Filzami's hair.
All right. Anybody that drank from your batch of tea, roll a Constitution saving throw.
Is it at advantage for me?
Yes, I think it would be.
Oh, lovely!
Oh, great. Here I am having to be the team parent already.
Oh.
Ugh. Ugh.
Oh.
I
Those
know.
rolls.
Shit. Oh, he was the one I wanted most. He's got Owo right in his name. I wanted him to get
When I
it.
saw that name, I was like, I'm using
Dude,
that.
look,
So good.
there's 3 natural ones in there.
It's 3 fucking natural ones in a row, and then a 2.
Suddenly, I'm very, very glad that I didn't, because I don't want to know what would happen. Oh boy.
How does this thing affect somebody without a sex drive?
You just
I
spore.
don't want to know.
We'll get to that.
You
Yeah.
just spore all over the place.
Oh,
Oh
no.
boy.
You're gonna
All right.
plant more children in the earth, aren't you?
We're gonna have
So-
another
Okay, there's
visit
no
from the big
corpses.
mushroom, maybe.
Come shit.
On that list, the only one that made it is Captain Aloha.
Damn.
Oh no! Well, with
Funky
that
shit.
score,
Ooh.
it makes sense.
Oh wait, hold on. I have to check because I have.
I kind of wanted to
Paladin, I
talk to
think-
him more before everybody got high.
Oh boy.
Oh, nobody's going to
We'll
be
see.
feeling it yet. This is simply the
Okay,
indicator
good.
that you have failed
Slow
to
burn.
throw, and it and you will be coming soon.
Okay,
Oh,
well
crap.
before that happens, I do have something to be important I want to say to the captain.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is basically at this point you're all actually drinking, enjoying the tea while you continue to chat.
Yeah. Captain Alowo.
Yes.
this one would need you to understand that you should not take offense to dealings we might have with the people on this side of the border. We welcome all voices. That includes that of the Emperor, and we refuse to silence any. We are not part of any conflict. We do not wish to instill any.
And of course, if this land on this side of your borders is truly so lawless and degenerate, then would you not want them all to come together so that they may be able to break bread with your emperor?
It is true, there is no single voice on this side that your Emperor can talk to.
We'll kind of make a bit of a face for a moment. Just
I would say I'm inciting that.
his face conveys this emotion, just almost consternation.
Hmm.
But
There we
it
go,
seems
that's better.
patient. Yeah, you get that he's a little bit taken aback that you would suggest even some of it, and is surprised that to what he believes to be adults, he's about to have to say this, because of course everyone should know this. I'm afraid you misunderstand offense for concern. I do not take offense at anything that you do. You are free to do as you will. You are not of here, as you've already claimed, and therefore are not subject wholly to the laws and the claims of our worlds and our lands. But I am concerned that you would inadvertently bring ire down upon yourself by showing disdain and disregard for the Empire and for the Emperor's reach and his rule. What you consider to be outside borders is in fact part of the Emperor's territory. All of Yome belongs to the Emperor. The contested territories are simply in dispute, as no one can decide who should govern here. It is outside the governance of Monogra, of course, but we, acting as we are on behalf of the Emperor's greater authority and concern, have decided to take it upon ourselves to investigate the problem that is the Crimson Bandits, and if need be, impose the Emperor's judgment upon them.
Understood.
Well then, since it is nothing more than the squabblings of the children under your emperor's domain, then a few spankings being meted out in this playpen that they all reside in is doing nothing but a favor.
Then perhaps it is even more for that we would be there and meet you in those circumstances. Now knowing that our endeavor could facilitate the unification, or rather, the resolution of this contest.
Exactly. Why should your emperor have to bother putting out these little sparks?
Perhaps this would even put us in the graces of your ruler.
Thank you for the notes I have written. Gilzora's eyes are going to narrow at, well, all the canine around them, having remembered that they were informed that the Empire of this world will not welcome us with open arms. So it's now on guard.
I'm gonna open them arms.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
The captain will lick their chops, have another sip of the tea. This is quite a unique flavor. It is not bad. And the raspberries are delicious. We'll kind of lift the tea and nod at Philomene.
You're
Aside that,
welcome.
what you are doing here, or rather what you imply you are trying to do here, I do welcome and think it is in fact a great idea. Unifying the contested territories into one voice to then officially settle the ancient dispute between them and the Emperor, to bring them back into the fold, and to once more unite all the children of Yome under one banner. That is something that I would love to see happen within my lifetime. While I do not believe it is possible to do so, it is nothing wrong to hope for. So I believe.
To be fair, our goal here is not unification, but simply to parlay communications between our own homeland and this one. We have simply come here at a part of the land that seemed to be in chaos, and sought to bring about a little bit of orders to better communicate.
Certainly, this is no peacekeeping envoy exactly. We don't come here to settle disputes, but it is often in our best interest for them to be smooth.
Of course, peaceful relations are more profitable for both sides in pretty much any case. Say, Captain Elobo, this one believes your people could even be of assistance in this endeavor. You
At
see,
that, he curls a brow ridge and both his ears perk up.
you see, the disparate voices of these contested territories are the obstacle we aim to resolve. And none speak louder in opposition to their unification than that of the Crimson Lord. We believe once the process of unifying begun, they will be the final obstacle. And will we not be so fortunate that your people are the pressure that exists on the other side of them?
If there's any hope of dealing with the Crimson Lord and his bandits, pressure is exactly what we need.
And we believe the more of it we can bring to the table, the less of a reason they will have to revolt or even resist.
I'm going to lean over the table just a little bit, start making eyes at the scout across the table from me.
I
The captain frowns, peers down into his tea for a moment. Finally, he slowly looks up at you all. When I met a stranger on the road today, I did not expect to see my life before me. I did not expect to see my future change. He shakes his head a little bit. I did not anticipate when we met that I would be hearing words on the Crimson Bandits from all of you. I genuinely thought you would be traders or merchants of some sort, possibly headed further north, possibly into the Arachni lands, possibly lost along the way looking for Managra. And I thought, today, Alobo, we will share tea and we will do a good deed. Instead, I hear from you dire news. The Crimson Bandits are as bad as you say. They truly are a obstacle, then, to peace within the realm, to unification of this disparate, contested land, and unification, finally, of Yomei. This is as you say?
If anything,
presently.
we are giving you
It
more
is at the
perspective.
moment correct. This one believes it can be changed.
We have personnel on the way right now to their headquarters. Capable personnel. Those with enough pressure of personality to make our desires known to them. Moving
Above the
against them
table. Bullshit.
militarily.
It should be on. No. Okay, no, go ahead. You wanted something above the table?
Well,
I just went, like I said, above the table. Bullshit. That's not. Zora's not saying that. That's me.
if you are considering moving against them militarily, I would ask you the favor of waiting until our envoy.
Would also advise
free and clear.
patience. We will read from their own words what intent they truly have. For at the moment we have but suspicions. Increasing suspicions, but suspicions nonetheless.
It is as I said previously. We are simply envoy from our own homeland. We had no idea what we would encounter. We came with forces for our own defense, but our intentions are not of conquest. Simply alliance.
Any group sent beyond our pied-à-terre in the Western Territories is but a diplomatic envoy. This one, talking to you at the present, was sent to establish relations with the people of the North. The ones waiting outside have been sent to establish relation with the Arachni.
Oh, did we split off from our little entourage already?
Not yet.
Okay,
Not
good.
yet.
No, not yet. We're close though.
Are they having some tea?
They are hanging back.
Okay. Less to manage.
Yeah.
Yep, and that's why I left Aiden back there too with Bo on.
Helpful. If, as long as we can exercise, as difficult as it is, I understand, but exercise some modicum of restraint. We do not have to light the fires quite yet. None but the ones in our hearts.
This one believes when the moment comes, if the Crimson Lord is aware that your people is on the side of this unification, they will have but no choice than to lay down their arms.
Only if they go and act up like children should they be punished for it.
Your greater congregation has sent out delegates, you say, to the Arachni. Have you reached out to Manogra?
Oh, we're on the way, actually. We haven't gone to the Arachni yet.
Very sorry. I see. But
The
do you
envoys
have
have been
delegates?
sent. The envoys
they
have been
have?
sent. Not at the moment. The envoys have been sent based on proximity and personnel available. Which is also why I said it was fortunate that we should meet you here.
You've upped our timetables.
For a moment, he's quiet, but he does eventually nod. Though there's a bit of a frown on his face, he does nod.
Insight
I
check
understand.
Mhm.
Go ahead. I
again. Especially
understand.
since he's very specifically focusing on Managra. And
It
that's
is-
yeah.
It makes sense.
19.
He definitely gets that Managra being what it is, and he knows this and fully accepts it. That Managra is the breadbasket for the military of the Empire. This is where they get their soldiers from. This is where they get a lot of their weapons from. As the Kinra and the Okami have really nothing to do but continue to find new ways to kill each other. A lot of that the Empire benefits from. He knows and understands that and does want more for his people, but is also pragmatic. And you get this just in the expression he makes and kind of the look in his eyes, even as he's got this very deep resignation kind of in his glance. He would prefer that they were higher on the list of places where you would want to reach out diplomatically.
Oh,
But
he's
he knows-
hurt. Oh.
But he knows and accepts that they are not the diplomats' focus. They are the military's eventual problem. And he gets that, and he wishes it was different, basically.
Just a above the table note here, just because double checking my notes. One of the places we do have to check, because we've got the five fallen gods or whatever it is, we're actually hunting over these lights that are supposed to help us or help the land. While we're heading towards one, which is to the north of us, there is one that was hiding in a temple lost in the marshes in great swamps. So that might be something we need to remember.
Certainly.
That sounds like Managra from what I've got written down here.
There are,
Or actually,
it's a different place.
That was a different place. That was
There are two.
The,
Oh,
Githyanki and Githzerai.
the-
sorry. I'm just like my notes have Managra as, Give me a second here. My thing keeps changing on me.
The swamps are just south of the Managra. That's where
there we go. Okay,
that's where the
okay.
Louisiana Githyanki
Yeah,
are.
the
No.
southern
and
Gith.
then where the lizard.
No,
people
I
are
see what I did.
in the
I
territories.
missed the beyond Managra on my notes because I don't have actually a completed map.
To that,
So, yeah, never mind. Ignore me on that one.
to that effect, Captain Alobo, if you could provide us with a secure route to your territories, one which avoids the path controlled by the Crimson Lord, this one would arrange a diplomatic envoy as soon as possible.
I do hope you understand that there is something rather intimidating about approaching the strongest forces in the land first in a diplomatic capacity. It is somewhat overwhelming, but it is something that we would have hoped to handle personally. That's why it is such kismet that we have seen you today. I did not expect you to be so amicable and handsome.
And to be
Yes,
fair,
thank
your help in securing that passage would help very much with our mission of diplomatic alliances. The Crimson Lord have proven to be an obstacle we were hesitant to fight with right away. This is why all territories beyond their blockade were of lower priority to us.
We're hesitant to fight in general.
Yes, we would like to avoid, as one of my cousin's third removed left to say, the Gondia loves nukes situation. I have no idea what that means, but they used it a lot.
Oh my.
What is a nuke?
I wish I knew.
A drug, I think. Some kind.
Interesting.
I'm sorry, that joke cropped up and I could not. I had
No
to get it
worries.
out there.
Speaking of which, Mog,
What's up?
would I, in my experience, in my career, know what sort of effect an aphrodisiac would have on me, given my nature?
Oh yeah, I'm sure you've taken a lot of them.
Okay, so
over
it
the
doesn't-
years.
It doesn't do me harm. It
No,
doesn't.
it doesn't hurt you.
It doesn't frenzy me.
No.
Okay.
Not at the moment.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. All right.
You and I will be talking about that later. I
Okay.
assure you.
Good to know.
Can't wait for
That
the
is-
tea to start having effect because, oh boy, with Philomene, that's gonna be interesting.
Can I
Ah.
see the people who have sampled our tea? Can I see any sort of like fidgeting, squirming?
You have noticed that the others in the pavilion have started to kind of fidget restlessly and are looking around.
So I'm starting to make eyes and give little like glances. I'm trying to slide into the conversation. Definitely been trying to slide in little flirtatious barbs.
Yeah, it's real subtle.
Oh,
You
so
know
subtle,
when I-
so very
Pray for
subtle. I'm
Let me
in,
know when I start to feel the effects myself.
in my
if I feel
curiosity.
them.
Oh, sorry. In my curiosity, I'm gonna have a little bit of myself. Like, oh,
All right.
let's see where this goes.
Forgive its indiscretion, Captain, but this one has seen in your eyes the desire you have to see this empire unified, and it hopes it can help show it to you in your lifetime.
You chose to pause at the worst possible moments during your speech there, for the record. Like, that's not where I was expecting that to go, given the tea flowing.
Mm.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna slide a cup over to Wither.
You are quite kind, all of you. Thank you. And that would be a marvelous gesture to see such a thing. But yes, I do yearn to one day see the Empire united, Yome, once more united under one banner, one people, one heart, one nation. And together we might shine brightly and be a light for a glorious new dawn. I would love to see peace brought to her people, for the murders, the deaths, the blood to stop being spilled, for things like the Crimson Lord to stop having a garden in which they may flourish.
And
He
this
kind of
one,
looks you up and down at that as if, this guy gets it.
and this one wishes to see this new, strong, shining Yome as its friend.
I would again earnestly encourage you to send an envoy directly to the Forbidden City. Treat with the Emperor. Become an ally properly. Do not show this even accidental, unfortunate, almost towing the line of rebellion and insurrection and war. I know you meant no ills by it. You were simply ignorant. And ignorance is not, in and of itself, a failing. It is something to learn from. It can be a strength, even. So please, as you do seem to be strong individuals, strengthen yourselves. And I do believe the rest of the camp. Please, distribute tea among the rest.
Oh,
Oh
God.
no. Oh no.
Oh, wonderful.
The scout will get up with at this point, they combine both of the pots, so it is all mixed together. If you want any more tea from here on out, you're going to be having the good stuff.
Okay.
And they will combine it and pour out cups and distribute it to everyone else. So let's see how bad this gets.
Polite refusal here. I'm putting that out there right now. Polite refusal.
I'll slide the rest of my cup to Wither if he takes it.
You're gonna have to persuade me on that one.
Is Felemy aware of
I'll offer it.
Yozora's connections to the to the fake courts?
What was that question?
Is Felemy aware of Yozora's connections to the fake court? Deep connection.
It's not I wouldn't. I'm not entirely sure how much you know. It's not something that Yozora has been hiding.
Wow.
But they're
Wow.
not broadcasting it.
Right. Because I just don't remember if you. Felemy has some experience appearing before the courts as champion of a small community of Fae, but she's not sure if she'd recognize you having connections to these fake courts too.
Oh, If
Must
you're
be-
trying to say, if I'm understanding this right, you're trying to say if you recognize Yozora, the answer would be no.
No, not if I would recognize Azora, just if I would recognize you knowing of the ticket and all that.
You probably would, considering I've set up a couple of things on my end, but I'm not telling you again how much you would know, because again, it's something Azora hasn't been hiding it. I mean, has actively talked about the fact that by all technicality, they are, I think it was the Dove, that they are actually, Fae royalty, just so far removed from the throne, there's no way in hell they're ever going to get a,
Right, I'm just
seat.
not remembering if Felemy knows any of that.
I don't think that she was listening into that conversation.
Then I'm just gonna assume Felemy doesn't know any of that.
Okay.
Thanks for the info.
As
Yeah.
As for your offer, Sildov, actually, the more I think about it, with the conversation we had earlier, the trust is there, and I will take it and take a sip from it.
The trust that I would never betray.
Oh,
Oh no.
Oh,
Do I
doesn't
need
it?
to do a Constitution save then?
Anybody
Yeah.
else that drinks it, make that Constitution saving throw.
Should I, or can I willingly fail it?
If you
Oh
want to
my
willingly
God.
fail it, you absolutely may.
I see all the hearts on the purpose. That's a lot of lipstick.
I'll leave it to the yum. I'll leave it to the dice.
Oh no.
Because either
This
way,
man's gonna
I'm
hide in
in.
a tree or on the other side of that lake.
I just want to see if it'll give me like the difference between fucking and fucking while rolling. Like let's see if it'll make the decision for me. I have a +1. It's nothing. Oh, it's because of the fucking amulet. Yeah, right. Well,
All right, Dove
By the
and
way-
Wither are both feeling pretty good.
Oh, good. Okay.
Fill
All
me.
right. Hmm.
You're starting to feel very warm, very hot under the collar.
oh, okay, that's interesting.
Salivating a little.
Well, no, Felemy is asexual, so
I am salivating a little because this is like food for me as well.
this is the interesting part, because Felemy is asexual, but not without a sex drive, and that's nothing against sex per se.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Anybody else, I'm just imagining it's like she goes to do something and Yosora's like, no, you go hug your cow. Wither, go hug your
We'll see.
dragon.
We'll
Great.
see. We'll see.
Yeah.
So
For,
I was
the,
just-
for now, Felemy is just taking that as a
Mhm.
feeling nice and good and a little warm.
after
Is-
the rest of the encampment at this point has been served and has made their saves or failed their saves, the soldiers will return to their positions as best they can, though a few of them are starting to look quite antsy at this point and are kind of giving each other every once in a while the eye.
Hmm.
Captain Alowo, however, will bow once more when everybody is settled and bow their head at one who leans. In repayment of your kindness and for the tea you have shared with us, I would also offer you this information and my assessment that I will be passing on to my superiors.
Give me a second, I'm pulling up my notes.
And from that, I will offer you perhaps then my insights into what I believe may happen, what may be possible going forward. Some of the speculation, not all of it can be trusted, but it is enough, I hope, that you will be able to reasonably go off of it in your
Mhm.
plans and your preparations for the future.
This one values your opinion and would appreciate it greatly.
This will conclude our rest and our tea, and we will part no longer as strangers, but as passengers who have moved by each other and have shared tea and a memory for the road.
Oh, Captain. I think we can do more than that.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
And,
But-
with luck, maybe we
No
shall
one,
meet again
no
as
one heard me
friends.
facepalm there.
But first, I have interest. You mentioned at the start of this conversation that our journey reminded you of the tales of the Emperor's arrival. Can you tell us more about that?
Oh, of course.
Please.
Just one of my favorite stories
Take-
from when I was a boy.
Take your time. Make yourself comfortable.
Rubs nipples.
Yeah. Oh, but he is doing this. He's like kind of touching his collarbones and just like see just his chest heaving. Whether or not there's breath in it is unclear. But
Zora looks at him, at Dove, realizes what he's doing. He's like, "Oh no!" Looks
Alola
around, sees
makes a
everybody.
face, but nods slowly. Go ahead.
I was just like looking around, seeing how many people might be starting to be affected by the tea, and realizing what might have happened, and going, "Ah, crap."
Witter's
Essentially.
already kind of fanning his outfit out, kind of, because he's starting to feel it. So it's just like, and he's kind of looking around a little bit, almost to the point of curiosity.
Dove's feet have found Wither's tail beneath the table.
Does the hair feel?
Wither kind of shoots
how
an
does the
eye
Wither
one way
feel?
or the other, and just like, what? And
How does
just
the
kinda,
weather feel right now?
What feels sorry?
The weather.
Oh, the weather? It's a fairly nice day. You probably feel like it's a little bit warm at this point.
Right, but is there any kind of breeze or anything going on?
There is a very gentle breeze every once in a while out of the south.
Okay. Not what I was hoping for, but okay.
How's one who leans doing?
It's a good question.
The
A
way
mushroom on effort, yeah.
the way your particular brand of mushroom folk reproduces is through spores, and usually through those spores in graveyards.
Yeah, or like huge battlefields.
Oh.
Or yeah, the battlefields and such that are, everywhere.
Somewhere where there's a big amount of corpses.
Being that there are no detectable at the moment to you corpses in the area, and this isn't any sort of ritualistic burial or graveyard that you can tell.
And thank you. I appreciate not being called a corpse.
You're not driven to spore, but you do have a few growths on you that you recognize as being spore pods. You could spore at any moment.
Oh my!
So close! He's so close! It's just on the edge.
the edging mushroom.
In fact, that is not a terrible way to put it. You are basically being edged right
How very embarrassing.
now.
Oh, don't worry. It happens to everyone. I'm just gazing at his entourage, but listening politely to his story of the emperor's coming.
Yes, of course. That is one of my favorite stories from when I was a boy, learning my first hand at swords and combat and training. It was quite a long time ago, but the story as it goes is that the emperor was from a faraway realm and came with many allies, also from different realms, different places. Said that they were brought together as refugees and those who had survived a terrible and heartbreaking war. when they arrived upon our lands through an ancient device of some sort, magic, that the old elves knew and practiced in their old ways. Long before any of Yome was unified, the Okami tribes roamed freely, fought with each other. But the Emperor and his allies arrived, unified as they were by common purpose, to seek out a new home, to find a way to continue forward, to find hope amidst the despair. They came upon Yome, and she was lush and fertile, her lands bountiful. They could make a home here. They brought with them others, followers, soldiers, and the like, that had come from these different worlds, these different places, realms beyond realms, the outer planes and such, elemental realms and the planes of death even. They arrived here.
Yes.
They saw Yome, and they knew that under one banner she could be strong. She could lead. She could be a light in the darkness. But first, they would have to conquer it, show it the better way. So they did, one by one, even finding a way to bring the Okami and the different tribes together to celebrate one single, unified goal: peace, prosperity, home at the end of a long day for all of us. No more soldiers lying upon their shields. So, coming from these different lands, as you yourselves do, they rallied together. They found locals who supported their message, who also wanted to see a better, brighter tomorrow. Together, they began to snuff out the shadow anywhere it arrived. Where the darkness tried to flourish, they would bring light. They would stamp it out, rooting out evil and being justices for peace and prosperity.
At the mention of lush and fertile, the
Mhm.
crown of flowers around Fenimilet will bloom just a little bit more than usual.
Yum.
Starting to get a little worried here.
That is a
Wither kind of takes note of that and tentatively smells the flowers.
Aw.
Oh boy, Bellamy will be taken by surprise, turn around expecting Boan and say, Boan, no! And in the reflex, gently slap away, gently swat away Withers, only to realize that it is Withers and not Boan.
Just Kitty with the big pupils, just
Yeah.
Wither kind of is taken aback and just kind of like, okay, and just kind of looks at it, looks at Bellamy a little bit and just like, okay, I'm sorry. Just kind of like an apologetic, but you know.
Captain Olowo does not seem to take notice of the interaction.
Bellamy, at noticing that it was Withers, Bellamy will be taken aback a little, but just accept it and turn back toward their discussion.
That was a lovely story. Is much more known about the circumstances of the Emperor's coming?
The
How
circumstances
he
of
got
it, no, I cannot say. But the consequences, yes.
This is
Understood.
strange. This one feels a sudden sense of tragedy, as if a lot of life was lost, yet it is not so.
Millions of tiny voices crying out.
Yozora trying to deviate back to this, like, pardon me, Captain. You mentioned you were going to inform us about a report before we were relegated, before you regaled us with the tale of the Emperor.
Ah, yes, of course. Forgive me. But yes,
No worries.
at the moment, my current plans, after we break camp and we say our goodbyes, the rest of us, we will head south to scout out this camp you have informed us about. From that, I hope that is enough to satisfy my assessments. If not, I will seek out others, see if we can get a second look, which will give us deeper insights into their positions, their armaments, their strengths. After that, I plan to return to Managra, report to my supervisors, let them know the strengths of the Crimson Bandits, and the fact that they are in fact an impediment to peace, prosperity, and unity within the lands, and that my suggestion is to move against them militarily and wipe them out as a insurgent and cancerous force within the contested territories.
If,
They will, as I expect and anticipate, will report to their superiors within the actual Imperial command structure, who will then dispatch whatever response. My expectation is that they will respond militarily and follow the suggestion and crush the Crimson Bandits out as a problem, snuffing it altogether. I expect this would take, he considers for a moment, his kind of nose in the air, just sniffing a little bit. I believe this would take anywhere from 4 to 6 months.
good. We have time.
This one would invite restraint on that regard.
Yeah, show some bondage. Restraint, if you would. We could happily provide you with some semblance of more information, can we not, Owl? On the possible locations of further Crimson Bandit outposts. I think we've come across 2 more of them, or at least information vaguely alluding to them.
Is this
Yozora will, on that one, pull out their map. We only got general information about where they might be, but this points to the one that they know. It's like, this is where the one we found was, but they had a map in there, as was marked by one who leans here. And somewhere in this area and this area, we believe to be 2 more. We do not have their exact location, unfortunately, but maybe that will help you with your cause.
If you could hold off on, blowing your load all at once, then we can make sure to conclude in an amicable way to all of us.
This one would invite you to consider the 2 following points. The Crimson Lord directs his bandits at the moment against all our interest. However, they are still a people that could become useful should they join.
Does breathing awfully heavily for a guy who doesn't need to breathe.
I'm sure you would agree, would be impeded by their deaths. Secondly, please consider that moving upon the Crimson Lord militarily before the unification of the rest of the contested territories could bring them together against the Empire once more and prolong this solvable situation.
Aloa will smile patiently at you, nodding his head in agreement. I do not disagree with you, not one bit. I do, however, have an honor and a duty to both my people, my superiors, and to myself. And in doing so, I will report as a good soldier would, and give my assessment and my opinion as a soldier, not as an idealist who seeks peace. This is a solution, or this is a problem that has a solution that can be brought about by force. And that will be my suggestion.
Such a good boy you are.
Thank you.
Jeez.
I do appreciate that.
Geez, we're very rapidly losing the quote-unquote subtle.
Yeah, he's breathing awfully heavy for a guy who doesn't have to breathe. But he's he's going such a good boy you are, and as long as you're professional and dutiful recommendation includes for contact with us and our efforts.
I will be supplying a secondary report regarding the newcomers to the territories, that they should be welcomed and the diplomats sought out, possibly even suggesting reaching out directly ourselves to open up and begin talks amongst our peoples. I think it
Newcomers.
could be beneficial. And yes, newcomers to these lands. Yes.
Please, I've been coming all my life.
Well, and you are here now, and it is a good thing that you are. Now, while I will be giving this report as a soldier, as a fellow idealist and proponent for peace, I do also offer you the timetable I believe it will take for everything to happen. And you have until then, in my belief, mind you, you have until then to solve this, as you put it, very solvable situation. For if circumstances are changed when the Empire's army arrives, it could be the drums tell a different story.
Title drop.
Then hopefully by then we shall meet all as allies with no more threats to anyone.
He will nod slowly at that. Just as you say.
Captain,
Yes.
I think our talks, all this friendly conversation of peace and coming together has perhaps made your troops a little restless. Perhaps you would be interested in taking some time and relaxing with us for a while. Blow off some steam.
With that, he will turn to regard his troops and does take note of the fact that many of them are moving about restlessly and seem very distracted. I do appreciate the offer, and it is a kind suggestion on your part. However, I think the restlessness will be assuaged by being back upon the road and marching once more. Back to our jobs. We shall put our all into it, and we shall make sure to claim victory this day.
Captain.
So long as victory is even one remaining life.
Lean forward a little. Captain.
Yes.
I insist.
And I am afraid that I must be rude and turn you down, as we do not have the time, nor considers his words for a moment, the cultural freedom to take you up on that offer. Not at this point, unfortunately.
Look to his troops and be like, kind of give him the eye, like, come on. Come on, guys.
There is definite disappointment written on a lot of faces, but they also understand that this is the boss, and the boss says, and we're in kind of a job situation where what the boss says is what happens, or else.
I'm doing my damnedest to
Then-
push that persuasion.
Then, Captain Alowo, as we part and resume our journeys, this one has a wish, and it wishes it to be heard by the nature upon which we rest. This one wishes that when the Imperial Army advances upon the Crimson Lords, it finds not swords drawn at it, but this one's hand extended in friendly reunion.
That is an acceptable and quite selfless wish. Roll me a D100.
27.
Save.
Okay, nothing seems to happen.
Hmm. Damn. 75 too.
Oh, that's a disappointment.
Wow.
Not
Alowo
necessarily.
will get up out of his chair. Will walk over to Dove. Will bow deeply.
I will begin to stand, adjust for a moment, and then stand. And bow deeply as well.
Hip thrust.
And, and in this bow, tilt his chin up. I hope to take you up. I hope you will take me up on my invitation someday. And stand straight.
Standing up straight with you, he will nod his head. One day, we shall break bread, and we shall treat together. More than tea, I promise you. You shall be welcome at my table, should you ever make your way to Manogra.
I look forward to it.
One day we shall break bed.
Yes. Absolutely.
My
And-
deepest regrets, and humblest, sincerest apologies.
So deep.
But we
Which is
must be
fine.
about our task.
So must we.
Indeed, we will not hold you up any longer. Please, allow us to remove the tent in the pavilion.
Good luck
shall
on
allow
pitching. Good luck on pitching that tent.
And we will wish you a safe journey and bid you farewell.
We wish upon you a safe journey as well. May the stars guide you.
He will
Oh,
make
no.
a yip yip sound, and the camp will begin to move with all sorts of like just commotion as they start tearing everything down.
While they're doing that,
Time to get out of the way.
I want to take every single opportunity I can to all of the ones who look restless and just give them little pets, little scritches, little flirts, just to stoke their embers and just leave a lasting impression of me with them.
Absolutely.
While they are taking down the tent, can I see if I can kind of sneak away stealthily?
Absolutely. Roll a stealth check. Of the 8 currently experiencing the effects of the tea, 7 of them will remember you.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, wonderful. A puppy harem.
And that's not
This
gonna
is
be a
going
good
to be
one.
fun.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I think even my passive perception will catch that stealth roll.
So
Yeah.
what are you trying to do there, Wither? You
I am going to
unfortunately
try and-
rolled fairly low, so you'll
Yes.
likely be spotted. But what are you doing? You like looking around, trying to sneak away, slowly like backpedal a little bit?
Yep, I'm actually kind of looking to sneak towards the trees and to the water, so to speak,
All right.
to cool off, so to speak.
Yeah, everyone basically sees you moving away. So while you're still back, you're backing up, moving away. What is that? How does everybody react? What are you guys doing?
I'll just,
Why is he walking like that?
I'll smile and follow him at a slight distance.
You just already reacted all, or you just gonna watch?
I'm keeping an eye out because, okay, at this point, clearly something's up, even if I don't exactly know what's going on.
I will sneak up. I will sneak away.
But I need to
at a little
keep
distance.
an eye on everybody. It's like, okay, if it seems like I might be the only one unaffected, so I don't. And the only thing I didn't take was the tea, so it's like, okay, I'm going. Let me phrase it: unaffected of the party. So it's like, I think I need to keep an eye on everybody. Great, to keep them out of the way or doing something that they or I would regret knowing them for.
And Dove, go ahead and make your stealth check if you want to literally slip away.
Yes, I'm gonna follow him like this way to the trees.
Go ahead, yeah, make that stealth check. Let's see if you were any. Yeah, this is a little bit more stealthy. So if you want to try and roll against that, you absolutely may.
I'm in my element.
Probably should.
Good luck.
No, I'm too focused on the stumbling mess that is Wither.
Okay, well, while everybody's doing their thing and the puppers are like picking the tent back up, I'm gonna go chill in this direction and start doing crafting on myself to wither away the spore pods and try to look presentable.
Nice. Just walk over to Bohan and just poof, just pour into the air. Oh, sorry. Oh, this one apologizes.
So there goes my path to the water. And for the moment, I should. I.
Do they?
Huh?
No, go ahead. Go ahead with her.
I am going to, instead of normally where I just straight up dive into the water like I have been recently, I take off the jacket at least of my armor for temporary purposes, and then dive in.
Hey, kitty.
Felemy will notice all of this and decide that she's feeling a little bit hot under the collar too, and a swim might not be a good idea just to cool off. Also, Lolo, just to check, do the mushrooms seem in any way edible? The spore sacs that you say that you're trying to get rid of?
No.
Okay. Because otherwise, doing that so close to Bohan, she might try to sneak a bite if it looks edible in any way.
And that's literally like flesh-eating stuff that you don't want. Don't want to swallow that.
Yeah. She'll take a,
Wait, dumb
she'll
question.
take a sniff and move a little bit away from you.
It's like, okay, two questions on that. One, is that actually, for lack of a term, your children?
No.
Oh,
Okay,
Oh,
the
They're
way
spores.
it works is if there were like a cemetery or a battlefield or somewhere with a huge amount of corpses, that would erupt all over them and start creating a new mother mycelium that then would start creating
okay.
mushroom folk.
And you said this was a flesh-eating spores setup?
It eats corpses.
I'm wondering if I should start burning it just to keep people safe in the area.
That's why I'm removing them with druidcraft instead of just piercing them.
Okay, I see what you're doing now. Okay. So no need to start setting them on fire yet.
Do I see Zelda up there as I pass by to get toward the?
Well, now, yeah, sure. I'm not hidden anymore.
Yeah, Dove's not trying to hide anymore. It just was slipping away unnoticed. You did lose track of Dove for a moment, and once more, I've discovered them. Lakeside.
It's like, okay.
Hey, coming to join us? And I take off my own for the first time. You see him take off his heavy, not heavy, but his thick, durable charcoal duster and lay it upon one of the rocks right here.
Philomene will just
Skinny.
acknowledge Zelda's presence and say, "Yes, I'm not sure exactly why, but I'm feeling a little bit warmer than usual, and I thought that Withers was having the right idea there."
I think, yes, he is, and I'll join you. And you see, for the first time, he has fairly modest sort of linen shirt that's just short sleeves. In fact, I think it is this color. But his arms are pretty heavily scarred. Of a lot of what appear to be cut wounds, but other unusual shapes and sizes of scars.
Jeremy will see those and make note, but not ask any question about this.
I'm feeling rather good myself. Those were some rousing talks we were having.
Okay.
I
Do
Meanwhile,
I
think.
Phil-
see any? Oh, go ahead.
Meanwhile, Philomene will start taking off first her cloak of her living leaves and then her armor all the way down to just a very long gown of simple linen that she's wearing under her gambeson.
I'll swim with them for a bit, but of course, invite. Well, if we are feeling quite stirred, I'm sure we could do a little something to help with that. If
For
you'd
the
like.
record, Yozora is keeping an eye on them using the ability to share a sight with Chibi-Susuke while also trying to keep an eye on one who leans.
I mean, be my guest, pervert, but.
It's more along the lines of making sure nothing, you don't get ambushed.
Fantastic.
Apparently, I'm the only one that's sober.
I mean,
I mean,
you're
the paladin
you're
is
fine
there.
here, but if you want to keep an eye on them, you have to tip.
Exactly. Come on. This ain't free.
There's a reason
And anyway,
Chibi-Susuke is at
keep
the top of the tree. Just
Mhm.
trying to keep an eye on everybody.
And anyway, keep in mind the paladin is there no matter what. So
But yes, Dove will open the invitation for amorous advances so that we don't have to full of ERP this. But you'll open up the invitation for amorous advances for those willing.
and meanwhile, Philomene will get to the sunken boat and just sit in it like it's a sort of bathtub chair or something.
It's like a
Okay.
little pool chair.
So that's a
Yeah,
pass.
something like that.
So that's a pass from Philomene.
Oh, Philomene will not even notice. She'll just
Ah.
be appreciating the coolness
Just
of the water.
oblivious to the advances at all.
Ooh.
Yeah, completely oblivious.
Dang.
Wither unfortunately is too focused on the bottom of the of the pool as well.
Oh. Dove will be focused on the bottom as well.
Above
Damn.
the table. Above the table, you want to get Philomene's advance, you need to get very explicit.
It sounds like Philomene is about as dense when it comes to this sort of subject as one of my friends comes to when it comes to people asking her out or being attracted to her.
Yeah, that's about right. Like I said, she's
Mhm.
asexual, and while sex is not something she shies away from or finds repulsive or unpleasant in any way, it's also not something she seeks or even thinks
Right.
of.
But at the same time,
Dove picks that up. He's like,
for Sail Dove, Wither doesn't mind the company
oh,
as he's searching through the waters.
he'll swim. He'll
And-
swim with you for a bit, and just in his heated state, just observe the lithe feline body swimming underwater, and be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Also,
So-
just above table remark, isn't everybody besides Yozora under the effects of arthritics? So they'd be, for lack of a better term, I don't have a better word. No, there we go. Amorous. Even if
Yeah, they'd be horny.
more than normal. I was specifically trying to
Horny.
avoid saying that, but okay.
You're welcome.
oh, come now."
I mean, Boan is horny, but of a different manner.
I'm not dignifying that with a response.
Oh, please, it was a good one.
So, but to answer and address that, one who leans isn't exactly horny, being they're not someone who really reproduces via sex and swapping fluids with another of their species, but is definitely in a state of wanting to sport and is currently taking care of that. This is like the most literal version of rubbing one out.
yeah,
Pretty much, yeah.
yeah.
And
Read into it what you will.
Wither
or not.
is, in his own way, trying to be amorous to the group by trying to find something.
Oh my god, that's so fucking cute.
So, can I do an investigation of the bottom of the ocean, of the bottom of the pool?
Yes, go ahead and make an investigation check.
Just looking for something shiny. Oh, poor baby.
God dang it!
Oh, can I assist with that? Since I was mentioning swimming alongside him.
You may
and
offer
admiring.
the help action to assist and give you advantage on the check. So go ahead, roll
Yeah.
again.
Oh, I'm looking with it. In fact, I'm just kind of walking along the bottom, just since I don't have to
Just
breathe.
walking, like kicking the rocks over, checking on her. All right.
I guess I kind of am inclined to peek my head above every now and then to give the facade of breathing.
You find 5 pebbles that slightly look like penises.
Give them to me.
Someone got their rocks.
Ah!
But
Maturity's overrated sometimes.
Excuse me, this is very mature. This is 18 plus.
Maturity what?
I'm not talking about the RP or whatnot. It's like character. Maturity's overrated sometimes.
Maturity.
Right. With Dove's help, you do notice, as one of the rocks is kind of like nudged out of the way, that there's something kind of stuck at the bottom of the mud there that is not a rock and is not natural at all. It's got that very distinct manufactured kind of hardness to it. It's either metal or glass, maybe both. It's hard for you to tell just touching it with your foot. So you point it out, and you have now noticed this wither.
okay. Now, is it going to take strength to pull it out of that?
It will take some strength to dig it out. Yes.
Okay.
Oof.
So first off, I'm going to go up and get air, and then
Oh.
dive back down,
I'll pretend to do the same.
and I will dive down, and I will try and dig it out as best I can.
I'll
Make a
help.
strength check.
I will help
With
by holding rock.
advantage.
So just a straight strength check, or like athletics, or how we want to do that?
Oh yeah, go ahead, roll your athletics actually. And again, you have advantage.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you pull this thing free. You get it out of the very kind of loop, like loose, like goopy, kind of muddy ground. You're able to dig it out of like the clay that's down there, and you get it to the surface. It looks to be a pair of goggles of some sort.
Oh, cool.
Ah. He walks over. He swims back over to the shore, and kind of looks at it a little bit. And what would I need to do to kind of look at them, if anything?
If you want to try and identify its magical properties, you will need to roll an Arcana check.
Okay. Interesting. Not my forte, but why not?
Oh.
That's
That's
interesting.
actually enough. As you were taking a look at it, you get a sense and you get a feel for what it does. You figure out how it activates. You can see runes etched upon it. There are different markings around what look to be like glass goggle ports for the eyes. It's got like leather straps and buckles on the back. This looks to be a pair of goggles that, if you were to wear them, say the activation word, you would be granted dark vision up to 120 feet.
Oh, neato.
Wow.
Who
Interesting.
in the party needs dark vision?
Well, it's extended dark vision for most of us.
It is twice my range.
It is twice my range as well.
And I don't know if one who leans has it.
I think
I
everybody
think
does for the most
let me
part.
check. No, I do have dark vision. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Damn. Fucking poor humans. They just So that's it. And Harangon. God, ridiculous. Anyway, good find, Kitty.
It looks like this could pretty much increase vision in the darkness for us.
That's like almost like almost like humoring a child. That's nice. And then we'll like step forward brusquely, and like, are you wearing like an undershirt or something?
No, and you can see some spots of fur that are missing from battles.
Oh,
From
okay.
like just from getting things like getting like caught in the tree or something like that, or just like a patch of fur here, a patch of fur there, missing.
Okay.
Just from wear and tear on the road, so to speak.
Okay. So what he's gonna do then is he's going to come up to you and just like step up to you and put his hand on the back of your neck and say, "Now we're done playing around. I'm trying to fuck."
And there goes the subtle.
He kind of looks around.
Are you interested?
Persuasion.
Okay.
He's like, I mean, he's got that. Wither's got that sense of trust still from earlier, and it's like,
Are we still under the effect of the tea?
I believe so.
I trust as much. And
It is
really-
currently still affecting you, yes.
And certainly for someone of my nature, to get roused up by an aphrodisiac and not do anything about it would probably be a problem. So yeah, I'm giving you like a kind of forehead to forehead, just like, will you come with me?
the look kind of.
Zelda all the way on the road, like.
He looks, and he follows.
Yay! I think we'll
As he
go
pockets
to like
as he pockets the goggles in his
perfect.
pocket.
I think we'll go up into the tree line somewhere, but like definitely on the way. Oh, thank you. Failing me. Trying to fuck?
Okay, hold on. So you say do you say that as leave us alone, or do you want to join?
This question is an invitation. Just like, hey, it's like, hey, loser, get in. We're fucking. Tell me, you trying to fuck? Clock's
Give me a
ticking.
minute give me a minute. Give me a minute here. I need to roll something here real quick.
All right.
Oh, no.
Oh goodness.
She's
The
gonna
implications.
she's gonna take a quick dive, leaving behind on the. She's gonna take a quick dive, shrug her shoulder, and start to go toward you, leaving behind both on the boat where she was leaning back, and on the surface of the water where she, for a second, dove under the water line to cool down. There will be a line of faintly glowing flower spores.
Nice. A little pollinate.
She will come and join you.
Yay! And
I
the
think for
party
the record,
members
most
get
of us-
closer.
I think most of us are going, oh god, because it was Bohan that rolled and not Phil's
Yeah, that was. I was like, oh.
Oh, sorry. I think I had Bohan selected last. Sorry.
All right,
Yeah.
where are you headed?
Over yonder.
Interesting. There's actually over here. It's a good place. It's a good place to bone, apparently.
This, in fact, is the bone zone.
Yeah.
Boo.
On the way, Philomene will take in her arms, her armor and her sword, along with the cloak of ever living leaves to use as maybe a nice little privacy shield.
We'll start to go there, see the bones, and think. I'll make a note of that, and then probably just over here is better. Maybe not fuck on the bones, you know. And in case, I don't know, that apparent box nearby is a mimic. We'll address that in the afterglow. Cue that comic meme with the little bird screaming. And then they all fuck.
Exactly.
And through the eyes of Chibi Susuke, making sure they're, I won't say safe, but they're not being attacked.
Just so we're clear, Philomene will
Perfect.
the opportunity to get the cloak of ever living leaves in the one spot that's the most open to view, as a curtain to obscure what's going on.
Classy fade to
Absolutely.
black.
And
Absolutely. Fade to black over here.
Yozora and one who leans are just gonna write down rules of engagement for first contact and underline don't spike the fucking T.
I don't know what you mean. We made long-lasting relationships with that envoy.
I mean, here's the thing: 3 things were added to that tea. That was the tea that Slappy had it, the berries and leaves from Philomene's head, and the mushrooms from One Who Leans. So, who's responsible? We don't know.
Bread. Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm not pinning it on any one person besides the fact I know Withers and I are clear of this because of this whole mess, but it's like, don't spike the damn tea. That goes to the 3 people who added something to the tea.
La 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 la.
La, la, la.
All right, so while we
I'm
fade
not
to black over here,
listening.
One Who Leans is currently working on their spores. Yozora, what are you two up here doing? You hear sounds that are unmistakable. You absolutely know what's happening.
Mhm.
Well, let's say, like I said, I'm alternating between looking through Chibi Susuke's eyes to keep them safe from ambush.
Do you see what's happening?
Yes, I'm well aware what's going on. Again, raised by the Fae, this is nothing new to me.
That's fair.
This one understands that most humanoid need to relieve tension in that way, but it is not familiar with the duration of such acts.
It depends on the individual One Who Leans. Or, in this case, glancing over in the general direction, not looking through Chibi Susuke's eyes at this exact second, because talking to One Who Leans. Individuals. Not to mention the spiked T that we're writing. It holds up the piece of paper. We're writing on the rules of engagement about not to spike.
Indeed.
And a simple song is being played.
I am not playing my flute for this.
It's okay, it's not diegetic.
Then let's give them a reasonable amount of time before fetching them to resume our journey.
This is
After
the part
all,
where
time is of the essence.
Agreed,
I have
but-
to ask. Is there any sexual applications to a paladin's lay on hand?
I should. Oh, that's up to you, isn't it? Ooh, I
Because
like it.
Philomene is very much the cuddler type when she does in
Let me give you some context. In our previous level head session, basically the whole time was spent fucking because I brought because of course I brought my character Glorious into the mix, and and our homie Nancy was like, "Oh, I'm hitting that." I gave her advantage to all strength checks involved in topping because she drank a potion of climbing.
That's amazing.
I mean, Philome's use of Play on Hand would be mostly for, first, anything that looks like a wound or just anything that that might look like it's uncomfortable to have on Wither or Seldov. So she'll try to just make them feel better. And then there will be just anything where she feels the positive energy might change the pleasure for the other two.
It's great for aftercare.
There's two very funny things I could do
Oh,
right
yeah.
now.
Like
I have
aftercare would
two
be
things
absolutely
in my
Philome's,
inventory right now. I have two very important things that I could use right now.
Oh no. Wait a second. Oh my god. Oh my god. So do I. Holy shit. Mog.
You guys are faded to black.
It's true.
For the record, because of the stuff above the table, Yozora's eyes, the one who leans will see that Yozora's eyes are periodically going to Draconic, the same setup as what Chibi Susuke has, indicating that that they're looking through their dragon's eyes. And there's occasionally like just a blink blink. Huh.
Yozora.
I did not think that could be used that way.
Oh god.
Oh goodness.
No. I'm sure somebody back home might find that interesting.
I
This one
realized.
requires your assistance
sorry.
for a moment.
Eyes turn back to normal to give their attention to one who leans. Yes.
All right, I'm gonna do a roll here, real
Oh
quick,
gods.
because I'm going to use one of them. I just don't know
Oh
which
goodness. Man, best be glad that I left the trophy from the blue meanie back at the ring finger. Blue weirdo, whatever it was.
one. Okay, I'm using the Talisman of Aiming.
Okay. All right.
Susuke
Wow.
up in the tree line. That's
All right.
just like
Let,
what the
let me
fuck?
get out these notes. Okay. So I have some questions.
I don't want the answers.
Okay.
That's fair. Is there any penetration vaginally?
A good question.
Does Philome allow that? Do either of you attempt it?
I would be interested.
Okay.
Philome would not seek it out, but she certainly would allow it.
Okay.
It's not in Wither's nature right now.
Okay.
Dove
More.
is sterile.
Yeah. That we were gonna get to that part. Dhampir and Elf, Fey Elf especially, would likely not even be compatible, so it wouldn't even be a roll. But that would have increased the chances of conception. The talisman.
Oh my god!
Oh god.
That's incredible.
That's that's an application
that's,
that not considered.
Wow. See, I'm over here just thinking money shot, right? I'm over here just thinking money shot, but like, it's the other option, I guess. Oh, that's awesome.
Luckily, we will not have to even worry about that. The current species are not compatible in that method. They cannot procreate together. So we're clear there.
Okay.
Okay.
Yozora, help.
I'm stuck with this.
And Dove, was there any item you were going to use from your inventory?
No, but
Go on.
What? Really?
no. He's skinny. Well, besides maybe manacles, but manacles or rope may come into play a little bit, depending on how much time we're really gonna spend. We're gonna be at this for a little minute. But maybe the manacles, the rope might come into play, little shibari or cuffs. But one thing that Dove would definitely like to do is fight. But he would try not to make it especially clear that he is drinking.
Bite who, though?
whoever is willing.
Who would like to let Dove bite them?
I am greedy. and I
Felemy
will
will
offer both.
not say no.
Wither?
Okay.
Felemy is the doting, motherly type, and like very much the aftercare type. So she will accept any advance. She'll not seek anything out, but will not rebuke anyone.
All right, well. How about you, Wither?
Wither would not be against the idea as well.
So you have your option. You may pick between the two who you would like to bite, or you may simply bite both of them.
Oh, I will absolutely bite both of them.
Are you going to feed
I will.
on one or on both?
On both.
Okay, so you will both have a opportunity to detect this. So go ahead, roll the bite and all that.
Perception check on Chibi Susuke, because
Just like
I don't think
the
Yozora
damage
knows
or-
about this.
The feeding damage, or do like a stealth?
Like you were
Like
gonna
everyone's
just
attacking?
bite them.
I see,
No
okay.
advantage, no stealth or anything. Just
Okay.
just roll basically the bite attack.
Aphrodisiacs do funny things to my sense of restraint. Where's my fucking thing? Features. I'll say this one's... I'll just do 2 rolls, I guess.
This is getting interesting.
Oh, nice.
All right. Who do you bite first?
I think that would be... That'd probably be Philemy.
Philemy, roll a perception check.
All right.
Give the wet kitty a moment to dry off just a tad.
It isn't a aggressive or hostile seeming bite. You do feel Dove bite you, and you feel something else with it. There's a momentary kind of like a lightheadedness in you. You feel very dizzy for a moment.
Felony will just old Zelda's head closed like
Mhm.
just consoling consoling a crying child
Oh, sweet
Okay.
baby. Aw.
while
Okay.
reveling into the mix of pleasure and pain.
Wither, you don't even need to roll anything. When Dove comes for you, it is a aggressive, like overbearing, topping bite. Dove is coming at you and bites down. And the second Dove bites down, you feel that same kind of lightheadedness, that draining of your essence, basically.
Okay. And I mean, I don't have time to react, so I just kind of almost a little bit go rigid.
Okay.
Oh.
I need to do a perception check to see if Chibi Susuke notices this.
Go ahead, roll a perception check, which should be Susuke.
As a slight note,
16.
right. As a note, Felemy will as soon as Zelda is done and let's go. Felemy will use early on hand to heal which one.
Absolutely. You may, in fact, also do the same for Wither, healing yourself and Wither, so that you don't take any actual damage. There's no bite marks even left behind, if you wish.
Just to be sure, how much of a event do I remove for that? Or do I wait until it's all done and we'll see how much I've used up?
5. It'll be the standard 5 each, basically, as if you were removing disease,
Alright.
kind of thing.
Ouch.
Bruh.
It sucks, but vampirism is in fact technically a disease.
I mean, it might just be like removing
Oh
a
god, if I
bleed.
could spread like... Jeez, okay, interesting. But does my lick... Is it, Vampire the Masquerade a little bit, where my lick will smooth it over?
It does help, absolutely,
A
yeah.
little bit, okay.
I mean, in my case, it would only be removing the damage because I'm
Yeah.
immune to disease.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah, but I
mechanically,
get
it's
it.
just
I
gonna
get
take
it.
the 5. But yeah.
I give suck.
Yeah, absolutely.
With Chibiusuke, you do in fact absolutely see Dove bite both Philemy and Wither. There do not appear to be any like lingering harmful effects from either, as there have been.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm going to be
Thank
distracted
you.
in a moment by one who leans, but for just a moment, Yozora is going to just whip around to look in the general direction until the image they're getting from Chibiusuke reveals that it's like, okay, the paladin's done the lay. Philemy has done lay on hands. Doesn't look like anything's happened. It's like, okay.
Yeah, they're just getting into the good stuff, just biting now.
Dove will
yeah.
thank them
Because-
both.
No, specifically, it's like because Yozora didn't know about the Dampier yet, because that hadn't come up yet. Hey, now he knows.
Oh, I don't know. You've only seen
All you
that
know is that
Dove
I
bites
bite.
people
I like to bite. Just
during
so you know.
intimate moments.
Didn't you
Yeah.
actually, during the last camp, kind of briefly mention it at
I
camp
wanna-
with everybody?
I did bring up my association with the Brood Lord.
So
I
Yozora
didn't.
also very much did because of the hesitation. It's like, well, if I can tell when I'm not, and he wanted and about face and walked away from.
That's
that.
true. You did leave that.
Trying to be reasonable here.
Real quick, I'm gonna roll perception to see if I can see Chibiusuke.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I don't.
No,
You don't notice the small pseudo dragon watching you.
on top of a tree.
I glance over like.
But so sad. I had a quick little interaction in mind, but if I can see Chibiusuke, that's how it is.
But
Unfortunately,
yes,
your dice
one
has-
who leans does grab your attention, Yozora.
Back to the black. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, back to your corner. Hold on.
Okay,
situation.
turns turn. Okay,
The
yes.
situation is pretty
Mm.
bad. This one did not anticipate such fervent loyalty to the Empire. This presents a lot of obstacles I wish to inform the Senate Council of.
Yeah. We've been told that the Empire won't welcome us with open arms, or we've been informed in some way. And from what we know of the lore, 2 of us in this party appear to be dragon marked, which could be a double-edged sword on our end.
It appears, unified or not, this region cannot remain independent at the price of war. This
Yeah.
one will send its recommendation to the Senate Council to allow control of the Empire on this region. If we must operate
Yeah,
within its
practicing.
borders, we will have to be doing it from the inside, discreetly, and with no aspiration of control at the moment.
Yeah, but we definitely have to be careful on this. This world plays by rules that only some of us might be even inclined to understanding. We don't want to give too much of an advantage. That seems like a very poor choice.
Unfortunately, this one does not believe the choice is ours. Unless we wish to unify this region against the Empire and establish once more a front line, declare war. Resistance is unadvisable.
Yeah,
But
Yozora will
perhaps-
shake their head at the declaring war.
Perhaps more insidious means will become available.
Maybe. Yozora raises a hand to their chin, just thinking. It seems that the loyalty this so-called emperor has over everybody, it may just be ingrained just years and years of tradition and everything. But since I believe we were informed, from what I remember, no one has seen the shadow this emperor for
Did say to send
several
envoys to the
generations now.
Emperor. Like, really? Directly?
But at the same time, go ahead.
It is not necessarily the case that all factions are as loyal as the one we just met. However,
They're good boys.
to become more informed, we will have contact with the rest of the Empire, and this will have to be done from the inside. And I believe if we have value to it, the Empire will. Its guard will not be up as we advanced further in. Offering it the free territories on a silver platter, I believe this one believes will be more than enough. However, we must be careful the way we go about it. This one has a plan. Diplomatically,
Yeah. Just contemplating this, like, I think at the very least, our group, gesturing toward between Yozora, one who leans, and a vague general, yeah, the lovebirds over there, should do our best to avoid being tied up in too many political affairs of this land. We are already going to become a known quantity by reaching out to the Arachni and the Dragonkin.
thankfully, our
mention-
true political power is off-world.
Indeed. But at the same time, it's like there's the five of us looks over at Bohan, Aiden, and again, general direction of Chibizusuke. Ahem. 8 of us should avoid being too wrapped up or painting too big a target on our backs if we can help it. We are currently one of the driving forces behind the City of Doors' attempt to be here. That paints a target on us, not to mention, again, as referenced, the Dragon Marked, and just generally gesturing pulling a stoic to Vast and gesturing to all of one who leans. They do not seem to have beings like you here.
Indeed. This one believes we will have to proceed with caution. We will not be able to make ownership claims over these lands.
Okay.
However, this one perceives possibilities through guided sponsorship to have a say in the affairs of at least the newly unified free territories, and thus gain access to the Empire as a whole in a more politically advantageous fashion.
Yeah, selling them, for lack of better wording, the free territory, the one place that's been resistant to their rule, giving them a final voice, definitely would help us.
I believe the recommendation of the captain of direct talk with the Empire perhaps should be taken.
Yes, but not by us. Once we are done with our negotiation with the Crimson Lord, however that turns out, I would recommend, yeah, crap, let me get, what's the guy's name again?
Which guy?
The, pompous windbag to talk to the Crimson Lord.
Graham.
Graham,
Yeah.
thank you. Sorry, I didn't want to immediately go through my notes, like I forgot the guy's name. Crap. Ahem. Once Graham is done negotiating with the Crimson Lord, however that may turn out, I would propose we send him, if he's still alive, to the Forbidden City and see if we can strike up a conversation.
Not to devalue Graham's capabilities. This one believes a more delicate touch might be in order when it comes to negotiating directly with the Empire. This one has much to assess regarding their intent, how much they value the free territories, and also the intent of the Crimson Lord.
Azora will again just rub their chin, going, But again, do we want to put that big a target on, specifically in this case, your back? Right now, we as a party are a relatively unknown across this entire land. That includes, yes, that includes you and your ability and your negotiation skills.
This one was not necessarily recommending itself to speak directly in the Forbidden City. However,
sorry, that's what it sounded like. It's like, okay.
Any touch more delicate than Graham's might be appreciated in that situation.
1 second here. I'm going to pull up my notes on names and everything.
Morally Gray is
I
fine with
missed out
me.
last
Same.
little bit. My headset fell off my head.
No worries. We're just talking names. It's like, trying to remember.
The guy that we ended up sending to the Crimson Lords.
Well, I'm also
Yeah, we
now
got
looking
Graham.
at. Yeah, I'm now looking at the names. Like, okay, Mech's completely off the table. He's going to go talk with the He's going to go get gambled away or something.
Athos is with the Pleasure Pirates.
Yes, and we sent Graham to go talk with the Crimson Lord. So I'm looking at okay, what else do I have in the list of people we might be able and we'd be willing to be sending to the Forbidden City to see, to, open up a conversation with them.
Honey and do you remember?
I've got Pani and Zalna. I don't think Gale would be particularly useful for this one.
But I'm not there.
It is, I think all of our personnel here has already pretty important jobs assigned, but we could always request more assistance from the Senate Council.
Yeah, it's just a case of who would they send that would be quote unquote. I mean, obviously the only information I have, especially in my notes, is the people that came with us. So it's like, who would they send? And will we still have to escort them, or would that end up as somebody else's problem?
It is not off the table that we might do it ourselves. However, we must first conclude our affairs in this region.
Yes, at the very least, we should finish up. Looks to the north general range. It's like talking with the Dragonkin, and maybe seeing about the being we were supposed to help here, to help us stand against the darkness.
To that point, do you believe they have finished?
1 second. Yozora's eyes will turn draconic just to look at them again.
Good question. Are we done?
How involved were you going to get?
Well,
Half an
actually,
hour at
after-
least.
Yeah.
45 minutes, an hour.
I do
Hour
want
and a
to
half.
do one thing. I do want to do one thing.
It keeps going up.
In response to your bite, your aggressive bite,
Yes.
my cat claws are going to come out.
Oh.
He's going to hold back a little bit, but
Okay.
so
I assume you're not hiding your cat claws?
Fucking club horny over there.
I assume you're not. Your cat claws. You'll be very obvious when they come out.
I will be gentle,
Mhm.
but they may do a little damage.
Okay. Mm.
As soon as
Here for
Felony
it.
will notice your claws, she'll grab your hand gently and just let them come out while just keeping them away from hurting anyone. You know, just
It's a
like
little guiding
squeezing
hand.
yeah, just grabbing, entwining your own fingers in between Wither's hand as you and he just get together.
Dove will actually go, no, it's fine. You can let him
Do
go.
I need to roll for this?
Good question.
Dig in, kitty.
You thought it was
Really?
sexy time. It was actually PvP.
Yeah.
And at this, Felony will just let go of the hand.
Thank you. I'll take it.
And it'll be across the back too, by the way.
Yeah. I trust as much.
Yep.
This does suggest that Dove's topping. Of course. Naturally. What do you say? Hour and a half? Let's let the Constitution do the talking. An hour.
All right. The
One
party may gain the benefits of a short rest.
Oh, good.
Even those who got into some extracurriculars.
I said
Good.
I didn't need a short rest. I'm full health. I've got all my spell slots.
I could use 8 health.
I was if I wouldn't have resisted if you wouldn't have said no, if you would have said not to.
Perfectly fine.
Does eating works fine on you, right?
Yes.
All right. So Felony will be slowly healing the damage as soon as it is being done, basically creating a contrast of pain and pleasure again.
Oh.
Sure, go for it.
Nice.
While they're concluding their affairs, I'm definitely going to use the Silver Raven figurine to send a message.
Rest.
And I assume that's the last of my lay on hand pool, by the way.
It's 15, right? If you did 5, 10.
I have 15 total right now. I used 10 earlier when you took a bite, and I had 5 left. So I assume that's going to be the last 5 of it.
I spent some hit
Yep.
dice. I spent a hit dice. So do you have 2 maybe left? 2 in the tank?
Sorry?
Well, you did it at the... okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically at the same kind of action, so it
I
all
see what
just
you mean.
builds
Oh.
together.
Yeah, because it bleeds. That was good scratching damage. So like it bleeds. So you take care of it. Remember, folks,
I
always
take mostly care of the bleeding, yeah.
yes. Remember, folks, safe, sane, consensual, Dhampir or otherwise.
Never do blood work without consent.
Safe, sane, and at least dubious consent because it was an aphrodisiac. Morally gray, but always make sure to ask anyway. Between party members, I will always make sure to be a good boy.
It's all good.
We at this table do not encourage people to use aphrodisiacs to get what they want for sex in the real world.
In the real world. In fantasy, it is perfectly acceptable to horny up a puppy pile and send them marching down the road. When they make camp, oh boy.
I was gonna say, I only wonder how that puppy pile is going to be at their next long rest.
If only we got the captain. If only the captain. He was the most important one. If we only got the captain, they would have
But he was
stayed.
stern in his convictions.
Oh,
Unfortunately.
Oh, if only if I could play if I could play Glorious, then I could have demanded that he stayed. Just enchant his ass, cast command, be like, whatever, just enthrall him, be like, you want to stay.
But after a while, in this
Yeah.
case, about an hour, Dove, Wither, and Philony feeling quite refreshed, and the effects of the tea now very quickly wearing off,
We can spend
will
it.
return.
Well, in the afterglow, I'll offer them cigarettes. For one.
Felony will just give a very soft whistle, at which point one will make their way toward the group.
Wither will politely decline the cigarette and
Yeah,
walk
he's-
once again towards the water
Yeah,
and
these
dive
things,
back in.
these things, these things will kill you.
I got the message I want to send through the figurine.
Absolutely.
Hearing the whistle and hearing Boan wander off is like Yozora looks up from their books like, okay, about damn time.
Felony will start gearing back up, and she'll check on Zelda to see that he's not too weak-legged to make the way back.
There's a little wobble. There's a little like.
Yeah, Wither had just a little bit as he was diving into the water. He kind of he kind of dove kind of slightly to the right instead of straight like he.
By
Nice.
the way, Wither, if you're going swimming around there, you'll notice that there's a large patch both on the boat and around the water of these faintly glowing spores.
A little dusting.
Are they edible?
Ooh, that's a thing. I don't know if they are.
Anything's edible if you're brave? No, that's not true.
Fuck around.
That would be
Yeah.
that would be up to Mog. It would be up to the DM because it's Phelome's Fey Touch. It's Phelome's Fey Mark. So she's not necessarily aware of everything that it does.
Okay.
Unfortunately, not today, it seems.
No.
Oops.
But I will say that in the aftercare, at least, the afterglow, the aftercare, Dove will have spoken up a little bit and been. Thank you very much for indulging me. I hope it was indulgent for you as well. I know that got a little rough back there, but I hope you didn't mind.
I don't mind at all. It's always welcoming to see people have fun, and you have to include me. I was quite touched by that. Speaking of,
And before he had actually left, Wither was like, "Yeah, I tend to get a little rough sometimes. I apologize."
I got a little lost in the moment there and bared my teeth to you.
And my instincts kind of kicked in a little bit.
I'm always here to help with any need you might have.
Really? Thank you. I suppose now you know a bit more than I had originally intended about my predilections.
You
My
know
nature.
Felony will just give a knowing and gentle smirk to Zelda, and she'll say, "Well, as long as everything is consensual and no one is really harmed, I have no problem."
And
I suppose that is best practice.
Yep, and Wither simply nods as he's putting his jacket back on from that as well.
As soon as she's done gearing up, Felony will turn to Zelda, noticing the wobble earlier, and she'll say, "By the way, do you need a lift? Do you need a bit of a ride back to the group?"
Oh, I think I had enough of a ride. But thank you. By the way, what did you notice this? I'll gesture down to this pile of bones. Looks like we weren't the only ones boning here. No, but really, there's a box.
Oh, I hadn't noticed that.
There does, in fact, seem to be an old, weathered wooden chest.
Does it seem, gosh, completely innocuous and not suspicious at all, surrounded by bones?
Well then, good thing I just geared up.
Does it... Do I get the impression there might be an issue with this chest?
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
I will. Can I assist on that?
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
I will.
Piss poor.
Melanie will simply stand at the ready.
Seems fine.
A little distracted. a little in the haze, a little in the afterglow. Wait, I could.
Hard to
Oh,
do.
well, here, because this is the next ability check after I bit.
Mm-hmm.
Here, it's a 7.
Mhm.
Great.
The chest, as far as you can tell, seems to be perfectly fine and normal. It's probably locked. But you don't
Really?
sense any danger.
Oh, one moment. I'll go reclaim my coat real quick and get the thieves' tools out of it. Ooh. Kneel down. This shouldn't be but a moment, and attempt to unlock it.
And I will assist.
Absolutely. Go ahead and make that check with advantage.
Dex?
Should work with the thieves' tools directly. It should be rolling your dex.
Oh, cool.
If
Okay.
it doesn't, then we'll figure it out. Roll from there what we got to roll. But yeah, should work.
Did you say, does assistance actually help with this?
Yep. You have
It does?
advantage
Okay.
on the roll.
Wow, rad, thank you.
Nice. As you set to work, you quickly are able to pick through and open that lock. However, in so doing, you activate the trap that it is
Oh,
attached
yes.
to.
Oh, yes.
And that is where we'll call it.
Ah! Oh,
Damn it.
good.
And we have to wait 2 weeks for it too.
God damn.
Yep.
Dove just getting the party into all sorts of shit. We could have had the fucking Dragonkin at our table by now. But Dove always calls it
Look.
problems.
No, look, that was worth it.
Thank you.
We're
I'm
having
glad.
fun.
Definitely worth it.
I'm glad you enjoyed my bucking antics. My bucking antics.
Heyo.
Exactly.
Just each and every fucking game I'm in, and I can't not bring this energy.
Hey.
No, but thank you, Mog, for gift wrapping. Gift wrapping the fucking. Here's a tea party. Yes. Oh man. Okay. Fucking awesome. Thank you for this session, Iron Mog and friends players.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for playing. I hope you had some fun.
It was definitely fast.
Mm-hmm.
It was wonderful.
Definitely had some fun, even if it's like, okay, being the straight man in the party. Great.
Hey. Pun intended. Let's see. Ooh, that's a good place to go. Good old Mondo Mole. Playing Power Wash Sim. So we're gonna need a hosing down after that session.
Definitely will.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, on my end, I'm sending everybody over to Ella, that gamer who's doing the mortuary assistant.
Ooh. Appropriate for
Am I-
Dove. Welcome back. We just ended. So guess what? That box? with the bones around it. Perfectly fine.
Trapped as
Definitely
hell.
fine. Perfectly fucking fine. Yeah, trapped. It was trapped. It was trapped. But you know me, I love a good trap.
Did we end? Really?
Yes, yes, we ended.
Oh, but
We
I
end-
had a message to send.
Oh shit!
Oh, that is
Quick, do that. I'm gonna cancel the raid. Actually, go ahead and do your message. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 25 words, right?
Yes.
Okay, the message is as follows. Contact was made with Monogran. Non-hostile, but zealously loyal to Empire. 6 months timetable to settle Crimson Lord issue. Proceed with caution. Keep paperwork defensible from the city.
Okay.
Oh man, the administrative element, the documency,
Mm-hmm.
very important. Okay. Yeah, I almost forgot
Who
about
are you
that.
sending that raven
Drop.
to specifically?
To HQ, I don't remember who was in charge back at base, but
I think it was Gale.
Okay.
If not Pawnee. Probably Gale. I trust Gale. Gale's the AOC of our LVMA.
100%. 100% is.
Yeah. Fabulous. Okay. All right. Let's do a raid again. Let's reinitiate that raid to Monomole.
I'm doing my raid to, like I said, to Ella the Gamer, who's doing mortuary assistant.
Let's go ahead and give some love to Monomole number 3. Doing Power Wash Simulator. So let's go get wet. Let's go hose down after that hot session. And on the other side, go hang out with corpses after that hot session. I mean, that was close enough, right? Got an awful lot of life in him for a corpse. He's only half corpse. It's fine. It's fine. It's perfectly
Yeah,
fine.
if Dove's necrophilia just put us in jail already.
Yeah, right? Oh. So give Monomole a ride on that meat train. And yeah, fucking come back tomorrow for more hot vampire action. Because oh my god, Lolo's gonna be running Vampire the Masquerade, and I am going to be a fucking vampire again. not a vampire, which is good enough. But I mean, D&D doesn't really give you the official blocks to play a full-blooded vampire, so a vampire will definitely be close enough. But I'm gonna be a full-ass vampire tomorrow.
It's gonna be
and
fun.
It's gonna be wonderful. Oh yes, it will. So I look very much forward to that, and I'll see you all then. Till then, stay easy.
Hey, Slappy.